Calaroga Shark Media.
From Washington, D.C., where courtroom naps are the new political performance art, but at least you don't have to watch out for cannibals, this is Ballot.
First up, we'll explore the riveting saga of Donald Trump's courtroom siestas, where his slumbering visage is drawing comparisons to a Warhol masterpiece. We'll also delve into the fallout from Biden's peculiar cannibal comments, which have the White House scolding reporters for cracking jokes, and the people of Papua New Guinea setting the record straight on their sky meal standards. And if that's not enough, we'll touch on the National Enquirer's role in burying Trump's scandals and the former president's valiant struggle to stay awake during his own trial. At the trial of Donald Trump, the first witness was the editor of the National Enquirer. Jordan Klepper shared that Mr. Pecker would buy scandalous stories about Trump and bury them. And what a good job he did. I can't think of a single Trump scandal. It was suggested Trump could get a $1,000 fine for violating a gag order. Daily Show host Ronnie Chang joked, $1,000? That's not going to stop Trump from talking, okay? You've got to deal with this like any other tantrum. You've got to give Trump an iPad with Coco Melon on it and let him zone out. Jimmy Kimmel said he violated the gag order during the hearing about whether he violated the gag order. Jordan Klepper joked, this is a complicated issue about balancing rights. Basically, the prosecution's argument is that a juror has the right to feel safe while serving on Donald Trump's jury, while Donald Trump's argument is that that juror lives at 34 West 52nd Street, and maybe someone should pay that juror a visit and straighten him out. Trump's team is complaining that it's unfair to be cooped up all day. Jordan Klepper observed, would Trump even want fresh air and exercise? CBS News described what it's like to be in the courtroom, saying, once Trump walks through the thick wooden double doors, sometimes setting a brisk pace, sometimes lumbering, always stone-faced, his demeanor changes. He's accompanied by a team of lawyers, usually campaign staff too, and of course Secret Service agents, who move to the perimeter after Trump takes a seat at the defense table. Mostly, Trump stares straight ahead. At what exactly? The computer monitor he shares with the attorney next to him? Certainly, sometimes. But he seems to be looking above that, beyond it, past the bustling judge's clerk, whose desk gives him a front row seat, second only to Merchant's. Is he staring at the wall? The bottom third is wood-paneled, the rest painted solid white. Also, mounted on the wall across from Trump is a flat-screen television, one of 4 in the room. At all times, it shows Merchant, the lawyers, and Trump himself. The Guardian describes it this way. His image there is raw, uncut, and unfiltered, like Andy Warhol's film Sleep, in which Warhol fixed a camera on his slumbering lover for 6 hours. It's not a Trump rally. The withering focus, without the introduction of the thumping music, his emergence from a dry, ice-generated cloud of fog, and the predictably orgasmic reception of frenzied minions, reveals something less than the conquering hero in a Make America Great Again red baseball cap clapping his hands. Day after day, Trump slumps in his chair, his eyes narrowing and closing, his facial features sagging, until he suddenly jerks to life, once muttering a seemingly veiled threat to a potential juror that earned him a rebuke from Judge Juan Merchan, that if he persisted, he would be in contempt for witness intimidation. Without self-discipline, Trump invites being disciplined. Lacking control, he fails to control himself. Time and again, he falls asleep, appeared to nod off a few times, his mouth going slack and his head drooping onto his chest. Maggie Haberman reported in the New York Times. Lest you think this show is one-sided, I'll move on to Biden. But let's be real. Did you really come to this podcast to hear a thoughtful discussion of Israel and Palestine? All I have for you is cannibal jokes, and the White House would like us to cut that out. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre is scolding reporters for poking fun at the president's remarks. During a recent press briefing, Fox News reporter Peter Doocy asked Jean-Pierre why Biden was claiming his uncle was shot down and eaten by cannibals, adding, "That is a bad way to go." Jean-Pierre's response? "We should not make jokes about this. I personally disagree." Some residents of Papua New Guinea, the present-day country near where Biden's uncle's plane crashed, are not too thrilled about the president's remarks. Michael Kabuni, a political science lecturer at the University of Papua New Guinea, said, "Implying that your uncle jumps out of the plane and somehow we think it's a good meal is unacceptable." He added, "They wouldn't just eat any white men that fell from the sky." Any? So apparently there's a vetting process for sky-fallen meals in New Guinea. Who knew? Well, that's all for this episode of Ballot. And remember, if you ever find yourself falling from the sky over New Guinea, just hope you meet their rigorous meal standards. Portions of this podcast were created with the help of AI, and you can't eat AI. At least I don't think you can. Oh, by the way, I am guest hosting 5 daily trivia questions on Friday. Forgot to tell you, more Ballot tomorrow.